Pop Squat, coming at ya. We have, hey, I'm getting to an album. Alex sent in a while ago for me to react to Døves, I believe. Maybe it's Døves. I doubt it. It has a line through the O, so I don't know. No, I think I'm wrong. I think the album is 333. The group is probably Døves, right? Let's see here. I'm clueless. It's not very long. It's an EP. It's about... Oh, I have stuff on my glasses. And if I clean off my glasses, the lens will fall out. Oh, good, it worked. So this was, let's see, Genius says, on 7th of March 2019, Døves announced that he would... I have no idea who Døves is. He would be dropping an EP, which he described as genre defamation. The name 333 is highly likely to be named after. The name 333 is likely to be named after. The fact that Døves made the whole EP in like 3 days. Every song on the EP has an esoteric sample integrated within, almost a trademark at this point for a Døves track. In a reference to genre defamation, the EP takes on an experimental and almost maximalist sonic in contrast with Døves' delicate, forlorn vocals. Whew, boy, some people need to learn how to write. So the other thing I thought was interesting is they have two different covers listed here. This is the cover that actually was released for the EP, and then this is the image, obviously much lighter, that they used to announce the EP on Twitter. And I don't know, just kind of interesting. So it's, you know, some kind of angelic statue looking thing. I'm also kind of curious if that plays into the 333. 3-3s are considered holy, like the Holy Trinity, and then 9 is a very holy number, which is 3-3s. Anyway, that's just all the stuff that comes to mind when I see something like this. So I do not know anything about Døves, so let's read about him, I assume. William Hayward. Yeah, I would probably come up with a different name than that if I were going to become a singer. Born February 22nd, 1991, better known by his stage name of Døves, is an American rapper, singer, songwriter, producer, and visual artist. Oh, cool. He is a member of the emo rap collective Gothboy Clique. That B-O-I always confuses me. Gothboy Clique, and a frequent collaborator of fellow GBC member Wiccaface Springs Eternal. Aha, okay, now I understand why this is recommended to me. Having made an EP and an album together, and co-producing Wiccaface's 2019 album Suffer On. He's also made music under the alias Suicide Forest. Huh, alright. So now I know something about Døves. Let's jump into this and see. The first track, there's 5 tracks. It's only about 10 minutes long total. The entire album, I mean, and it's on Apple Music. I'm not sure if I even looked to see if I could find it on YouTube. But let's just hit play and see what we think. First song is Døves. First song is Time by Døves, and it's 1 minute and 50 seconds. Are we going to play? Play? Okay.
Drawn by pure inspiration. Future, what does that mean? What's inspired you for this album? And is this album the one?
Yeah, this album is the one, you know what I'm saying? It's me just overall, over the time, just from the beginning to the end of where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
I want to be able to update my fans from the beginning of my career, just music you might like.
So this Genius has a note here that this says this sample is from an interview with Future. Interesting. Let me back up a little bit because I want to try and follow along with what he's actually saying.
Drawn by pure inspiration. Future, what does that mean? What's inspired you for this album? And is this album the one?
update my fans from the beginning of my career. Just music you might recognize from me being like the beginning of my mixtape vibes, and then on to what I'm doing right now to the music. I feel like I'm elevating as far as just expanding my creativity. I just want my fans to be up to date, so I'm doing this album right here, and from here we're going on.
Yeah, right. Creativity, sold out tours, successful tours, numerous #1 albums within months. You feel me? Did you visualize this when you were coming up? Did you know this was gonna happen?
Certain things was premeditated, and certain things was just my hard work was just paying off at the right time.
Yeah. And it's about that hard work. It's about getting in that studio and doing the work. Right? Now, when you do the work though, right, and you're this successful future, what falls behind? Like, obviously while you're trying to do your thing, there's a few things that get neglected, am I right?
Right. A few things get neglected. Just time.
Yeah, absolutely. That is completely obnoxious and annoying, and that's totally the point, right? You don't do something like that unless you know exactly what you're doing, and I assume the thing that comes to mind is what Døves is trying to say with this. He's talking about, or he's including a sample of an interview with Future, and what makes me think is Døves is feeling the same way that Future was in that interview, or he wants to communicate the same thing. Well, he is communicating the same thing of like, yeah, I wanted to put together an album that sort of updated people on where I am right now, how everything's been going, and then I think what's most important about this is at the end, Future talks about, he gets, the interviewer asks him about, like, you know, despite the fact that, or because you've been working on this album and you've been so successful and so much stuff has been coming out, what else has fallen by the wayside? And that's when the entire thing breaks down and turns into that sort of distortion and things like that. And that's the key to me. That, and I assume the rest of this album is going to be sort of discussing the things that have fallen by the wayside, or the concerns that Døves has had over the course of creating or living his life, creating this EP or whatever other music he's been working on. And since he's a visual artist, it could be all the different work that he does. So we'll see if I'm right or wrong, but kind of an interesting thesis to an album, because it's not really a song, right? That was a sample of an interview with some sound along with it. So let's check out the song Pulse. I like it.
I feel certain that I'm going mad again. I feel we can't go through another of those terrible times. And I shan't recover this time. I begin to hear voices, and I can't concentrate. So I am doing what seems the best thing to do.
Yeah, 9 Inch Nails all the way on this. Just the force behind his voice, and even the beginning part of it. After the part with the woman speaking, where he's sort of singing very very emo-y, right? But even that reminds me very much of was it Trent Reznor's his kind of softer vocals. But then Dubs gets into this kind of screaming last verse, and it totally triggers Reznor's vocals to me. It's fantastic. It's not a slight in any way to say he sounds like Trent Reznor. That's a good thing. It just is really really remarkably good. Totally loving it. So this is another artist I listen to his lyrics, or I read his lyrics, and I think, I hope he's okay. Because we've got clasped hands, sacrament, blue-eyed silence, dead skin, mindless, torn portrait, cold breath, poison. You said always, I'm not who you think I am, I'm not who you think I am. And then blood on my arm, cut in my skin. Search for a heart, it's all in my head. Can't find a pulse, again and again. You're bleeding me out by letting me in. And I want to die, no love. I want to leave, no hope. Fucking tethered, no change. Can't feel a thing. I'm not who you think I am. Whew! That is not a happy bunch of sentiments going on there. And it's weird because the sample in the beginning is talking about... well, what does it say here? I feel certain I'm going mad again. I feel we can't go through another of those terrible times, and I shan't recover this time. I begin to hear voices, and I can't concentrate. So I am doing what seems the best thing to do. You have given me the greatest possible happiness. You have been in every way all that anyone could be. I don't think two people could have been happier. How does that start so negative? I'm going mad again. I can't go through another terrible time, but you've been amazing. And then the song itself is very not positive. Very not positive. I hope Mr. Døves is okay. The next song is Wrist. Let's see, 3. So this maybe was known as 3 before it was released. 3 is a song by the producer, rapper, singer known as Døves. One of the songs on the EP 333, released on SoundCloud on March 5th, 2019. That doesn't help me with anything. So let's keep going here. Like I said, the last song was Pulse. This one is Wrist. This also has a star next to it, so it must have been a single.
Could you tell us why? Or what made you feel the way you did?
Well, I didn't have any worries, but
Great sound and music. I mean, it's definitely a certain style of music, right? But here's the beginning lyrics. Life's just a promise I made to someone, and I can't wait to break it. Drowning in my head, so I try to stay numb. I know you hate it. I'm breathing hard, and my body aches. He is not a happy boy.
tired of living?
I'd like to try a new place.
A new place?
I'm breaking ice on a frozen lake. I'm getting lost in a darker place. I'll take as much as I wanna take, and I'ma slow down till I forget your name. I'm giving up on another day. Percocet, keep the pain at bay. All my dead friends get this Hennessy. I just wanna close my eyes so I can fly away. Eyes closed, eyes closed. No more, no more. Take my body away from me. No sleep with me.
So that beat, that really reminds me of running. And it gives the song a really sort of insistent kind of energy that I find, it sounds good. I really like this song. I can see why it was the single, because it's definitely the best actual song so far on the album. And it's interesting because the lyrics give you the sense of somebody who's deeply, deeply unhappy, and yet the music kind of gives you this energy of like, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, and it's a little bit strange to have those two things next to each other or layered on top of each other, because it is a little confusing in terms of the message it's trying to convey, where he's super unhappy, right? Like, he clearly is tired of life, or at least that's what he's telling us in this song, is it's difficult for him, and yet at the same time there's this sort of insistent, persistent kind of keep moving forward energy that is in the song. That's what I get.
You wanted to bleed to death?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, not happy. Life sucks, guys. I mean, and especially if you're one of those people who has a lot of problems with your body lying to you and your brain lying to you and telling you that you're unhappy, when really it's just chemicals. And then people try to fix it with chemicals. He talks about Percocets in that song, keeping the pain away and numbing himself, he said in another song. And yeah, that's what some people need to do, try to do, want to do when they are overwhelmed. And it absolutely makes sense. I mean, I became alcoholic because I could not handle the stress, and also my body just decided, hey, you need alcohol all the time. And it sucks. It's awful. But also try to remember, if you feel like this, it's not real. It's not. I mean, you might feel it, but that doesn't mean it's real. It's chemicals in your body that are lying to you. You could be happy. It's such a weird thing to say, that your brain is lying to you, because your brain is what gives you your reality, and yet you probably understand what I'm saying when I say your brain is lying to you, because sometimes you might be sad and have absolutely no reason to feel the way you do, and you just sit there and think, why do I feel like this? And I think that's what he's dealing with and what he's telling us about here. That was a very good song. I really enjoyed that song. I will download that song because I liked it. Tomb is the next song, so it's getting even happier. Now he's dead and in a tomb. Oh boy. Okay. Ridin' Dirty is what that reminds me of, and also the Weird Al takeoff on that. That beginning bum 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 bum, it definitely sounds like Ridin' Dirty. nice and dark, ominous.
I don't want you to hit on me with some stupid cheesy pickup line. I want you to hit me. I want for you to use your hands and punch me until I can't feel it anymore.
I've been drinking for like 6 days. I can feel your hands on my face. Drowning in the bottle like a lake. Calling at the surface. What's a life with no purpose? And I don't wanna speak your name. Voices in my head try to keep them at bay. I tried to feel, but all I got was pain. I tried to love, but I'm too good with pain.
Yeah, this guy has definite issues. So the sample in the beginning, in case you couldn't hear it clearly, I don't want you to hit on me with some stupid cheesy pickup line. I want you to hit me. I want for you to use your hands and punch me until I can't feel it anymore. And that was the sample, right? It's got to be from a movie. And then his verse is, I've been drinking for like 6 days. Piker. I can't feel your hands on my face, drowning in the bottle like a lake, clawing at the surface. What's a life with no purpose? And I don't want to speak your name. Voices in my head, try to keep them at bay. I try to feel, but all I got was pain. I tried to love, but I'm good with hate. Whew. His brain's lying to him, and I think he knows it. I mean, he says there, he tried to feel, but all he got was pain. Like, that doesn't make any sense. That shouldn't be all you get. I hope he's not living with this constantly, because the pain of that is too much, and it's unnecessary. Such a good voice too.
I don't wanna speak your name. Voices in my head try to keep them at bay. I tried to feel, but all I got was pain. I tried to love, but I'm too good with pain. I'm caught up in my ways. I don't wanna live just to see another day. I don't wanna dream just to see it fade away. And I don't wanna go if you stay. I wanna meet death, I can't wait. I'm trying to find an altered state. I wanna meet death, I can't wait. I'm trying to find an altered state.
I feel like I'm hated so much for feeling loved. I want to be hurt.
I don't wanna leave just to be alone. I don't wanna feel like I can't feel anymore. I don't wanna dream when I wake up cold. I don't wanna be who I am anymore. I don't wanna try, I'm so tired tonight. I don't have a heart that could light in the light. I don't wanna be who I am anymore. I don't want.
I mean, super dark. I really hope he's getting some help. Who writes these lines? Okay, if you wrote these lines and somebody found them and said, "You okay?" That would not be a surprise, right? But because it's part of a song, we listen to it and we go, "Oh, it's such a nice song." I don't want to leave just to be alone. I don't want to feel like I can't feel anymore. I don't want to dream when I wake up cold. I don't want to be who I am anymore. I don't want to try. I'm so tired tonight. I don't have a heart that could let in the light. I don't want to be who I am anymore. I don't want to be who I am anymore. Like, that is not a good place to be. That's really rough.
Be who I am anymore. My heart is a tomb, but my body's a piece. I can't even speak when I hear you breathe. You don't wanna make any time for me. You don't wanna take any lines from me. I can't even speak when I hear you breathe. I can't even breathe when I try to sleep. I can never
Yeah, so the end of that. I mean, it doesn't get any better, right? I can't even speak when I hear you breathe. I can't even breathe when I try to sleep. I can never sleep till I find some peace. I won't find peace till my heart stops beating. Whew. And I'm sure he feels like that, right? I'm sure. He's telling us he feels like that. That's why I say I'm sure. Um, but I think he is able to put this on paper and turn it into a song because he knows that's not realistic. He knows on some level that he does go to sleep every night. And maybe it's hard, maybe he has insomnia, maybe he has one of those brains that just doesn't turn off and doesn't turn off and doesn't turn off until he finally falls asleep, and then you're not conscious, so it's not like there's any peace there either. You're not aware until you then wake up, and as soon as you wake up, all those thoughts come back again. And so he thinks, I'm not gonna find the peace that I'm looking for until my heart stops beating, because I'm always me and I'm always thinking, and sorry, man, that sucks. Well, here, the last song is called Sober. Let's see if his mood improves.
I should sober up, I should give a fuck, I should quit trying my luck. I should find love, trying to buy drugs. I should try searching for bones. Try to chase that feeling I miss so much. Try to feel anything for anyone. Try to feel the pain that I miss so much. Slumming in the creek on my back.
Shit, and getting take my brand new bong and start to try to fucking hit it. Yo, don't hit my fucking new bong, dude. I didn't even get a chance to hit that shit yet. Dude, don't hit my fucking Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, it's my fucking new bong.
Spend enough time on the back roads. Money sad like wine on my iPhone. Hands pulling at the wheel like I'm trying to find God knows brakes, no time, no love. Found a party in the hills, fuck it, let's go. Need to find some pills, try to let go. Stomach starting like time when I hate my life. Can't feel my eyes, can't feel my eyes.
Yeah, no, he's not happy. No. I mean, the music is all great. I enjoy all of this, and there's a couple of songs on this that I absolutely will download, especially Wrist. I thought that was fantastic. Again, super heavy stuff, and just the fact that he feels like this, and it's consistent throughout, right? Like, and also to know, at least if it's accurate, what Genius said is that he did this album in like 3 days. This sounds like maybe he was in sort of combination manic depressive phase where he was having these feelings, or he had these feelings of like everything sucking, and all he felt was pain. When he could feel anything, that was all it was, and he never had a break from anything, and he just had to get it out and on paper, and just just puked it all up and got it out of his system. And this is what it is. This is the way he was feeling, and he had to do it. And I'd be curious to hear more by him, because if this is his constant state of experience, yeah, no wonder why somebody like him is so sad, upset, pissed off, angry, defeated all the time. Feels like his life has no purpose. And yet, he continues to make music. He continues to put this stuff out. He spends hours and hours and hours and hours with a purpose of making music. So he's even lying to himself, or on some level he knows that he does have a purpose. His purpose is to get this stuff out of his system and try and have some kind of a fulfilling life. And again, this is just my opinion, but this is, like, I've been depressed before, right? And I've been an alcoholic. I am an alcoholic. I can't drink. That would be a bad idea. And so I get parts of this. And I'm sure people who like his music probably identify with the fact that he feels something like what they feel. And it's nice not to be alone in those thoughts and just know that, okay, other people have to deal with this. And they do. And that's one of the reasons why I think things like music and art is so important, and one of the things why I'm very open about the crap I've gone through, is because so many people keep this stuff bottled inside, and they never feel like they can share this, or that it's wrong to feel the way they feel. That's bullshit. It's never wrong to feel the way you feel, as long as you're honest with yourself. Some people don't ever examine their lives and their brains and their experiences, and so they live this completely oblivious life. They never think about anything outside of what they need to do or what they need to get. And I think for a lot of sad people, they feel like that would be in a completely empty life, and it's depressing to know that other people exist like that. I don't know. I'm losing track of exactly what I'm trying to say, but this is somebody who spends a lot of time in his head, and there are a lot of other people who spend a lot of time in their head, and I think any time you do that, you will be sad. Because you actually think, and you actually deal with your existence and the world and how fucked up everything is, and maybe how fucked up you are, or how much you don't think you're fucked up and yet you don't fit into the world. And yeah, nobody really fits into the world. I mean, the most successful people in the world have days in which they are unhappy and everything sucks. And I mean, that's just how it is. Everybody feels like this sometimes. It's just most people don't talk about it. And for some people, like Døves, they have to get it out of their system. Same thing, Ninetails, sewer person. Same exact thing. I mean, Trent Reznor, I mentioned earlier, he obviously had a lot of feelings that he needed to get out of himself. And, yeah. You'll see artists like this all the time, because it's just the way some people exist, and yeah, it sucks. And just try to remember that your brain's lying to you. I don't know. I feel like I'm just talking at this point. This is a really good album. Certainly for people who identify with what he's trying to say here, this is a very good album because it lets people know they're not alone. That's probably the best way to say it. I really like this. I'm going to go download Wrist for sure, maybe Tomb, maybe even Sober. Sober I liked pretty well. I thought that was pretty good. Really great. Really, really a good EP. I'm a little surprised it's labeled as hip-hop and rap because it feels much more emo and electronic to me. But I like it. I like it a lot. Pop Squat. Checking out. Please like, subscribe, and share. Oh yeah, enter 20,000 in the comments to. I'll put a link in the video or in the description below to the video for a Sunreal song that I did just earlier. And if you enter 20,000, 20,000 in that video's comments, you'll get entered to win something for us hitting 20,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. If you want to become a patron, there's information down below. Thank you to all my patrons. If you want to send me money to just react to a one-off song, you can do that. If you want to leave a suggestion for a song in the comments, you can do that, and maybe I will do it. There you go. That is all I have to say right now. I'll be back with more. Bye-bye. Pop Squat. Checking out. I think I did that. I don't remember.